Welcome back. It's a Freaky Friday edition of Liquid Lunch. I'm John Tobacco, and we covered a whole gamut on Liquid Lunch. And sometimes you get the real whoppers of a guest, and on certain issues, you got to go deep for the big folks like Grover Norquist, who joins us now. He's the president for Americans for Tax Reform. Grover, thanks for joining us again. We really appreciate you coming on Liquid Lunch.
Good to be with you.
We got to get you in here one day and have a cold one with you and start getting a little deeper. You got to come for an actual Liquid Lunch.
That would be great.
Fantastic. So, Grover, we've been trying to find every angle that's not boring us to tears to talk about what's national news, impeachment. But I've seen many of the things you've been talking about, and there's so many more important things going on in our country right now. What can we do to unfocus the Democrats on this, if anything?
Well, recognize that the Democrats don't want to talk about anything else. But why do they want to talk about impeachment? Since there's no there, and we just spent a couple of weeks learning how little was there. They don't want to talk about unemployment at 50-year lows. They don't want to talk about 3% year-over-year growth for the last 16 months. They don't want to talk about the size of the tax cut that middle-class Americans received. If you make $70,000, family of four, you got $2,000 tax cut. That's more than 50% of your taxes, federal income taxes cut. So they don't want to talk about the fact that energy production in this country has grown so much because of fracking, which the Democrats are all falling all over themselves saying they would ban and undo. So that when something goes wrong in Saudi Arabia, somebody blows up a fifth or a quarter of their energy production, we don't have gasoline lines. The world doesn't end. The gasoline prices don't go through the roof. Because of American production, the Russians, half of their income is from oil and natural gas, and we drop the price of that internationally. The dictator in Russia is not a big thing because we cut his budget significantly by having more energy in the United States. We don't have to go to war for stupid little countries because of energy. We have produced so much of it in the United States and encourage more production around the world. So do you think the Democrats want to talk about no wars and lower taxes and more per-child tax credit and higher incomes for the American people, and particularly for the median income? The middle income families are doing significantly better. They're desperate to talk about anything else. And that's why, having done impeachment, they don't want to go to the Senate, because then they'd go, okay, we looked at the same evidence that you guys talked about. There's nothing there. Now what? And we'd be talking about the economy or the stock market going up or your 401k getting more valuable, not less valuable. There are 100 conversations to have. Only one of them can the Democrats hold their own. That's talking about impeachment.
Mr. Norquist, you're the president of Americans for Tax Reform. You and your organization have sort of become known for getting candidates for public office to sign a pledge not to increase taxes. I am curious about what the House of Representatives did yesterday and your take on it. The House voted yesterday to bring back the state and local tax deduction. This was a bill pushed forward by raising that top tax rate back to 39.6%. Now, I know Peter King has signed your pledge before. Do you view this as a violation of your pledge?
Well, it certainly is. Peter King knows better. He knows that he's doing the bill itself is a tax increase, and the pledge says no net tax increase. This is a net tax increase permanently out into the future, and it is a tax hike in rates as well as a total tax increase in revenue. And the only thing this does is it pokes the top rate and would move it up. The Senate's never going to pass this. The president wouldn't sign it. The president said so. So the fact that Peter King, who's leaving office, he's not running again, he's in a very solid Republican district, but he's always leaned oddly left on some of these issues. It's interesting. I thought it was fascinating. The Democrats have always said they wanted to end the tax deductibility of income taxes and property taxes because that largely benefits higher income people in higher tax states, New York. So it's very confusing for the Democrats who want to smack it to rich people but don't want to damage New York's ability to steal money from rich people by having the federal government compete with them on how you steal money from rich people.
Hey, Grover, thank you for pointing that out for us. We got to figure out and explain. For those progressives watching at home, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez voted against a tax increase, basically, right? Not like her at all.
If her goal is to protect big government, that was the smart move for her.
Very good. Grover Norquist, thank you so much for joining us on Liquid Lunch. We got to get you in New York when you're here one time, but thanks for always taking a few minutes for us. Really appreciate it.
Look forward to it.
So that's it, Frankie. Grover Norquist is one of the top guys in the country and the world on taxes and stuff. And I got to tell you, I didn't even understand it, but he broke it down like that. And when you see AOC voting with the Republican, you know it's a Freaky Friday on Liquid Lunch. We're going to take a quick break, come back and wrap up hour one right after this.